Hello everybody, welcome to this video, and as you guys saw from the title, we'll be talking a little bit about my payday routine. But first, I want to intro myself because finances are pretty personal. It's personal finances, so having a little bit more context, it can give a little more insight into kind of everything that's going on with this payday routine. So hi, I'm Jenica, I'm 26. I am working my first job, corporate job, maybe fintech, tech, SaaS. If that means anything to you, it's kind of a new industry-ish, so it's a little hard to say what it is without just giving out where I work. But it's my first job. I am engaged, still live with my parents though, moving out soon. Just naming a few things that kind of play into my finances. And yeah, so that's a little bit about me. Now we can go into the payday routine. Okay, so for step number 1, which is technically step 0 because I don't see this money, which is all of my non-tax deductions and like non-medical deductions. So we know in a paycheck you get tax deduction, you get your tax removed, and then you also get, like, if you have healthcare, that removed. But there are things that I chose myself to get removed from my paycheck to help budget and for other things. And I'm kind of listing this as a step, even though it is before I even get my paycheck, because I chose to do this. I chose to kind of get it taken out because 1, it helps with my budgeting, but 2, it's kind of an intentional step that I chose to take for certain goals that I want to achieve. With that being said, one of my things that I get deducted is my 401k, which is a pre-tax retirement savings kind of brokerage account thingy. For those who are not from America. And then the second thing that I get taken out of my paycheck is an FSA, or flexible savings account. And basically what that is just kind of, you can take money out pre-tax and then use it towards kind of eligible health spending for kind of pre-tax things like this FSA, and I have another pre-tax thing I'll talk about later. The math is a little hard for me to grasp myself, but I know that using pre-tax money saves you money in the long term because you don't have to pay taxes on that money. Yeah, I just know I get taxed less and I still get my money, so why not do it? But the reason why I chose to do this FSA is because it helps me budget for my health things. So things that are kind of eligible are like period products. You can buy prescription glasses, Advil, anything kind of health related. There's a list on a website. So this is kind of partly my health budget. Right now, I'm only using it to pay for my glasses and my contacts each year. And the reason why I'm doing that is because for the FSA, it's a use it or lose it model every year. So you get a certain amount allocated each year. And by that year, if you don't spend that money, they get to keep it and you don't get to see it. So you have to use that money. So this is my first year with this account, and I only took out exactly what I knew I'm gonna spend. Now that I'm coming up, I think I have about 4 months left in this FSA. I kind of know how much I spend regularly on regular health things in terms of like period things, also maybe sunscreen counts as an eligible spend. I am gathering that data so I can add more money into my FSA account. But right now for this first year, I only have it as my glasses and contacts. So that was the FSA. And then my last and third pre-tax deduction is transportation. So I take BART, which is kind of like a subway here in the Bay Area, and then I also take the buses in SF. And my company has kind of this program where you can take money pre-tax from your check and then use that to put into your BART card or whatever Clipper card or whatever like travel metro card that you have. And I use that to help pay for my travels to and from work. So now I don't really have to budget for that. So that was basically all my pre-tax deductions. And now let's go into step 2, which is just checking my bank account. I usually get an email around the early morning, like midnight till maybe like 3 or 4. So when I wake up, I see that I get paid that day. So I just check my bank account. As I said earlier, I'm salaried, so I kind of know exactly what I'm getting paid each paycheck. If needed, I will check my statement, but for the most part, if the number looks right, which for the most part it has been, I don't check my statement. But step 2.1, if needed, I will check my statement as well. All right, step 3 is automatic payments. So I know that's a more automatic step of this kind of process or routine, but I set up my automatic payments to land on the days I get paid. Want to make sure I have enough money in my bank account to make sure I have enough money for those automatic payments. So things that would be in this category of what is getting automatic paid would be bills, or like more like subscriptions, and then also my Roth IRA investments, which is a post-tax investment retirement account. But yeah, this is more of an automatic step and it's built into the routine, but it's still something that I actively kind of work to make sure that it works with my routine. And then the reason why I have to make sure I have enough money in my bank account is not that I don't have money, because I do budget and all of that. It's that I try to put as much money as I can into my savings account. And I'll talk a little bit more about that later and why I do that, but that was just kind of an explanation as to why I might not have enough money in my bank account. Okay, and that was step 3. And then step 4 is doing my zero-based budget. And then basically a zero-based budget is just that every single dollar has a purpose and it's not just kind of sitting there. Well, technically you can have it just sit there if you have like a budget line item that says buffer or general saving or just putting money away. Like it could go into that, but each dollar is put towards something, even if that something is literally just to sit there or just to be a buffer. So yeah, and now I will go ahead and do some budgeting and show you guys kind of how I budget, and I use YNAB, or You Need a Budget, as my kind of budgeting system. So let's get into the budget. Okay, here's what my YNAB looks like. So let's go ahead and budget that. I'm gonna go into expenses first because here we have an overspent category. I bought a couple things that I didn't have money for. My budget went kind of whack. I did some changes for the new year and moved around some money, and then things went wrong kind of, but let's cover this. Let's fix this and then add some more extra spending money for this month, because I usually give myself a bit of spending money each month for random things that's not categorized, miscellaneous spending. So I usually give myself some money for that monthly, but because of that whole kind of changes for the new year, I didn't give myself any in January. So let's put, I don't know, plus like 150. Now we have groceries. We see here there's a target. So whenever you set up categories, you can have a target for each month, or you can have a target like I want to save 10,000 by this date or whatever. You can set up targets to meet your needs. So anything that's yellow here is usually because the target for that month is not met. So here, let's just go ahead and we need $300 to meet this target. Honestly, I might snooze this target this month because it's already halfway through January and I still have about almost $300 left to spend for groceries. So I'm gonna snooze it for now. As for personal, we need $5, so let's go ahead and put $5. Cool. So now all of my expenses, except for those groceries, are now met and we're done for the month, putting money in there. Subscriptions, here we need $440, so we could just do underfunded. And then we need my iCloud, underfunded. This VCCAF is my venture credit card annual fee, and it's due yearly, so I divide that out each month, and I have to pay about $7.75 each month, so we can do that. YouTube Music or YouTube Premium is also yearly, so I put away money towards that each month, which is $11.67. And then YNAB, you have to pay. I think I had my first year free for some reason. It was either because I was a student or there was a new user discount or something, or trial period, but I did end up liking it so much I'm paying the, $109 each year. So there we go. Now everything in subscriptions is done. Saving up will go to that last. Why did I not go into bills? I went straight into expenses. That's weird. Okay, so let's put the rest of our money that we need for the Roth IRA, $231.54. And the reason why I want to put Roth IRA first is because that's getting pulled out literally in the next couple days. So I need to make sure I have the money allocated for that. Car and registration plus car registration and smog. Let's go ahead and do what's underfunded. School loan payment, let's just do whatever we need, $200. Car insurance, phone, and rent. Right now, I'm not paying actually any of those, but I'm saving for my first months of rent, my first month of having to pay my phone on my own, and then my first month or first payment of a car insurance, but I'm not actually paying any of those yet, so those can also wait until possibly next paycheck. We'll close that off for now. So bills, we're done. We did expenses, subscriptions are done, We're gonna not do anything in saving up right now. Sinking funds. I think the most important one I want to do is, oh, we're not doing payday travels any longer. I had a friend who I thought was gonna go on a trip, but she's no longer going on a trip. So we could actually move this money back to ready to assign and then assign that somewhere else. So now we have more money. So everything here, I am just going to do what's underfunded and just give them the amounts that they usually ask for each month. Okay, emergency fund. I want to finish this month. My goal is $10,000 and I'm at $8,500, so I know I could hit that this month, but I can't finish that off. This paycheck will have to wait until next paycheck. So for now, let's just do 1,000. So I'm only $500 away. Let's go. And then we have wedding. Let's put like 300. Cool. And then now let's open all of this up and see where I want to put the rest of this $100. I know I don't want to put anything in travel, nothing left in savings for now. Okay, so what can we do with $100? Let's fill our car insurance one fully. Now we only have $31 and we can do the phone bill, which is $15. And now we have $16.97 left. Where do we want to put that? Honestly, let's put it in Justin's gift category just because it's his birthday this month. And I don't know how much our dinner is going to be. It's quite an expensive place. But yeah. And now, as zero-based budget, all my money has been assigned somewhere. All right, and then that was step 4, the zero-based budget. Now on to step 5 is pay my credit card balance. So the one thing that I don't have a scheduled payment or like an automatic payment for is my credit cards. As well as I kind of just go through my transactions and make sure nothing looks a little suspicious. So then, yeah, step 5 is paying off all my credit card balances. And then my last step is to move all my money that is not an automatic payment or that's not going towards my credit card or that's not gonna be used immediately is going to my savings accounts. And then like I said before, I have to make sure that I have enough money in my checkings accounts. That's why I try to have all my scheduled payments on paydays. And it's because I try to have as much money in my high yield savings account. And a high yield saving account just kind of means you have a higher interest rate. For example, if you're with Wells Fargo or Chase, they might give you like a 0.01% or 0.1% or something interest rate. Whereas with my bank account, I use Capital One. I think I used to get 4%. I don't know what it is now. It might be like 3 point something %, but it's definitely a lot higher than kind of the bigger banks. So I like putting in as much money into that savings account because I will get more money back. For example, if we're using a bigger bank that only has 0.01% as your interest rate, if I have $100 in the savings account for a year, I'll only get 1 cent back. But if I have $100 in that savings account for a whole year, in like my Capital One, let's pretend 4%, I'll get a whole $4 back. And $4 might not seem like a lot, but compared to 1 cent, it is a lot. And you know, I tried to have more than $100, you know, I just used $100 for easy math. But like I said, the more money I put into that savings account, the more money I get back. And that's why I try to make sure to have as much money as possible into my savings account so that I get more money. But also, just to clarify, I have a thing with Capital One where if my checkings overdrafts, it just pulls from my savings and I pay no fees at all whatsoever. So I'm not too worried about that, really. I still do try to make sure I have enough money in my bank account, in my checkings account, but there's also that as a safety net just in case. That was my last step in my payday routine. And I hope you guys enjoyed the video, whether that was finding inspiration or just seeing how people like to kind of organize their money when they get paid. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video. See you guys in the next one. Bye.